Good afternoon on what is a very warm, bright and sunny day. It is Thursday the 15th of June. I've got a nice hot cup of tea and I have a box to continue unboxing. So I've already pulled out several things from this box, including a set of encounter, location, NMP, PC and spell cards for the game, which is Robert E. Howard's Conan Adventures in an Age Undreamed of, published by Modiphius Entertainment. And then below that, I have gone through a big bundle of Conan books, including the Exile Source book, Conan the King, and so on. But below that, let me just put this back in the bag and seal it. I have this, which is yet more Conan books. So, undo this bag, and the first one I'm going to pull out, there are three in here. First one I'm going to pull out is Conan the Adventurer. So, welcome to the Southern Kingdoms. There are half a dozen powerful factions plotting and intriguing against each other. There are continual brawls in the taverns and the streets, secret murders, mutilations and executions, and there are women, gold and wine, all that a mercenary wants. Conan the Adventurer is the definitive guide to the lands south of the Styx River, including the serpent-haunted Stygia, Kush, Dufour, Kashan, Punt, Zimbabwe, and that vast region known to the folk of the dreaming West as the Black Kingdoms. Rife with mystery and ancient, long-forgotten cultures and ruins, this region is brimming with potential for adventure and intrigue. New archetypes like the adventurer, Giro, Tomb Guardian and Witchfinder, including talents, war stories, educations, equipment and other background elements to bring them to life. Cultural groups such as the Chagas and Galas of Shambhala, the dreaming folk of Zuhul or Zathol, the Apakis of Tumbakul, the Ganata tribe and the strange denizens of the isolated Xotl. Important characters high and low: King Stefan of Stygia, Agira the Witchfinder, Tanada of Shambhala, the sorcerer Tuthimus, Thalas of Zutul, Marek, King Sakum of Tumbakul, King Zeba of the Apafkai, Garoga of Gishwan, the roguish Stygian adventurer Thutmekri and others. Stunning art and maps produced by a variety of new and renowned Conan artists. A guide to the countries of Stygia, Kush, Dafar, Kushant, Punt, Tomakul, Zimbabwe and the other Black Kingdoms, describing the histories and cultures and cities lost to human ken. Conan described during his period as war chief in the Black Kingdoms, terrifying beasts and monsters, giant scorpions, the pig devil, the Crow in the dark, the immortal vampire queen Akavisha, and the dreaded Olam Onga and its devil riders. Myths and magic such as the infamous Kabbalah sorceress called the Black Ring, timeless Ghazals, the lost women of the Flowery Veil, the cults of Juju and Jul, and more. Developed with leading Conan scholars, this is the place for exotic Hyperion adventure, just as Howard created it. This book requires Robert E. Howard's Conan Adventures in an Age Undreamed of core book to use. So that's actually quite a big blurb, having to read out all of that. But let's get the book open and find out what's inside. Just trying to get the knife and get my fingers under the plastic. Here we go. Almost there. So it's a relatively slim book, just runs to, let's have a look, see, well, it's actually slightly longer than the others, but it's 112 pages long. And as ever, you get the full artwork of the cover inside the front page, unobscured by the back cover blurb, quite a lengthy black back cover blurb, credits and content page, and then we get into characters. So we're looking at the southern homelands and Stygian casts, ancient bloodlines of the southern kingdoms, like the Jafari, the Stygian, the Kushite, the Zimbabwean, and more. Other options called, labourers, scribes, and Stygian priests. Cast talents as you would expect. So you could be hyper literate, and then you can have Stygian stories. So apprentice as a scribe, chosen as a file priest, the corvée, plenty of work, and more. Government postings, all options in there, to help create an interesting backstory for your player character, or even help create NPCs along similar lines. Southern casts, and then southern stories. So your cast can include, Girot, tribesperson, clever one, or exile. Southern stories: survived a terrible plague, blood feud, caught in an uprising, made an enemy of a Bokor, desecrated a grave, stole cattle or other livestock. Throw those into the mix, and they're going to grant you advantages, disadvantages, skills, and the like. Then we've got southern archetypes. So the first one there is adventurer. Then we have clever one, Giro, seeker, and then tomb guardian. Giros are musicians, and lastly we have witchfinder. So you've got a good range there. Six options there. Southern educations, building the elements of your character. Full list of talents for the adventurer style, character, and then natures and names of the southern kingdoms to really sort of like round your character out. Including names and Stygia, and gear and equipment found in the region, including a Kopesh. So there we've got an illustration of a Kopesh. Then, as with previous supplements for Robert E. Howard's Conan Adventures in an Age Undreamed Of, we have a Gazetteer, which will be your guide to the southern kingdoms, starting off with Stygia, Serpent of the South, Stygian culture and religion, the nature of the river Styx, and we have a nice map of Stygia and the Black Kingdoms. And then onto cities of Stygia like Kemi, and then Stygian ruins, Stygian adventures. Advice for the game master on how to bring those elements into play, what the player characters might be finding there, and then we're out onwards to the Black Kingdoms, including the city of Exotul and its history. Not so clear, but we've got a nice bit of history there. Then Kush and its major city, Shambhala. I've got the map of Shambhala. And then Zimbabwe, before we move on to the minor Black Kingdoms. And these got actually quite decent write-ups, they're minor kingdoms, so they get about half a page, maybe sort of like 3/4 of a page each. So Amazon, the Black Coast, Forest, Savannah, Mosaic, various regions, and then the Southern Desert, and then ruins of the Black Kingdoms before we move on to events which can occur out there. Whether that's with the Black Colossus, Queen of the Black Coast, the phoenix on the sword, or the eye of the dragon, and then myth and magic of the region, connectivity, ancestor veneration, animism, participation in the community, all marking the region as slightly different in its approach to myths and magic. Gods of the Black Kingdoms, sorcery of the Black Kingdoms, essentially extending from discussion about faith and religion in the region, and it does the same thing for Stygia. Including a history of Set, the major cult found in the region, whose reach and grasp has extended far beyond the borders of Stygia. Religious items and artifacts of Stygia. There's a new spell, which is protection of Hathor. Basically, increases essentially the willpower of the temperature. Essentially, just hardens the willpower of the caster. Encounters in the region. So we've got things like ape, giant, cannibal, skulker, and variations upon them, so they can be toughened or minions. We have Makuvu, familiar undead, and Dondoka, familiar undead, so creatures to be found in the region. We also have lost places. So the Burning Skull, Crawler Exotol, and these are all nemesis, really tough kind of monsters for the player characters to face. And more, including a were hyena. And then just the same for Stygia. Including Ka, resurrected, mummy, Tahnaher, or slave of the ring, or sort of like lending themselves to the idea that sort of like the Stygia is a foul place. This will be backed up by the figures of renown and infamy, such as Queen Akivisha, the nemesis, Garolga, High Priest of Kashan. And these are all drawn from the fiction, so you do get to feel like you're facing off against the same characters encountered by Conan, as well as obviously those that the game master will create for her game. Then hither came Conan. This is the section which details Conan's adventure during the period when the supplement is set. So you have those details followed by his game stats for the region, and then the Way of the South is examining essentially how to run campaigns there, how it differs. So Southern Adventures and Campaigns, concepts and ideas discussed for ready for discussion for the Game Master. So you've got Northern tropes as well. So essentially you've got like a bit of a clash between the North and South, as it were. The Southern Way of War, potentially we've got a Table of Trouble that can be faced off. And then, as ever, you've got the traditional carousing in the South table. So events that can happen during the player character's downtime. And that brings the book to a close with an index, and you've got an advert for content from Modiphius, and again the artwork from the front cover. So that is Conan the Adventurer for Robert E. Howard's Conan Adventures in an Age Undreamed Of, published by Modiphius Entertainment. If you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to more unboxings in the Nook, where you will see me out here with a box containing a book or game which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. then please do hit the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing of the Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.